What's up, Goal Digger? Kimberly Olson here, back for another episode of #GetLit, where we crush your business in less than 10 minutes. For today's episode, we are going to go over how to use Google Sheets to keep track of your leads. So if you don't have a prospecting tracker and you aren't taking people through a sales funnel, I'm going to show you very simply what that means. You are missing the mark. Did you know that less than 30% of leads are even followed up on? There are so many people that you are missing when it comes to that follow-up game. And if you can get a system in place, which I'm going to show you a really simple way to do it, you're going to get control of your leads list again. So instead of scrambling and trying to find new people all the time, you're going to be able to nurture the leads that you do have and follow up with them appropriately. That way you can turn them from warm leads into a hot prospect. And we're going to cover that and more in today's episode. Now, I absolutely love talking about prospect tracking because when you get control of this, you literally can transform your business. When I privately coach or have students in my group coaching programs, I'm amazed at how many of them have just been winging it. So if you have been, you are not alone, okay? So in the comments below, share with me how you're currently keeping track of your leads. Is it on sticky notes? Is it just scrolling through Messenger at past conversations? Are you using a notepad? What are you using to keep track of your leads? Now, y'all know I love Trello, but Trello doesn't work for everyone. Some people like to see everybody in a row. They like to be able to sort things very easily. This is really an awesome option if you haven't explored it before. We're going to use Google Sheets today. And the best part is you're going to get a copy of mine. So I'm going to show you right now what that looks like, and we will be able to walk through that together when I share my screen. Okay, so you click File, Make a Copy to make your own before you start trying to play with this. And if you request access, it won't get approved, so you're better off just making a copy of it. So this is the demo. When you get it, you're going to go to the Masters tab is probably what it'll be defaulted on, but we're just going to play with the demo right now so that way we can see what this looks like together. So we're of course going to put the name of our prospect in the name field. One cool feature is, let me see if I can pull up somebody on Facebook just to show you really quick. Well, I can just link to my own profile so you can see. Okay, so let's say I'm your prospect. What you can do is you can click up here and grab my username, my URL at the top. You can also do this for Instagram. So just copy that URL and then let's just put Goal Digger. And when you go inside, you can actually insert a link. So if we put my link in there and apply, it is now clickable. So that's just awesome because as you are following up and let's say you have a sneak peek event or a challenge, or we just got word that a product that's been out of stock forever is in stock. I'm super excited to connect with my people. It can take some time to follow up. So to be efficient, you can just click, boom, and it's going to go right to that person's page. Isn't that amazing? Okay. Next up, you can also sort. So I have this set up where these are filtered out. So if you click the arrow, you can sort alphabetically. I personally, I like to sort by first name because I usually remember people's first names, not necessarily their last name. So if you sort A to Z, it's going to sort by first name. If you wanted to do last name, comma, first name, you can obviously change that. You can sort by color. There's some really cool things you can do. Okay, first thing we're trying to do with this person is expose them. So exposing them means we have told them what we do. So let's say you have a new friend request on Facebook and you're chatting with Silly Sarah and you've commented on her post a few times and you send her a message. So you can see my notes here. We've sent Silly Sarah a message and we say, hey, Sarah, so nice to connect. Thanks for the friend request. I've been seeing your posts and I love how positive they are. I also saw you were a mom as well. I actually work with a lot of moms. Tell me a bit about yourself. I'd love to get to know you better. So she says, oh yeah, like you said, I'm a mom. I've got a couple of kids. I'm a teacher and I live in, Louisiana. Oh, that's so awesome. My girls are, 4 and now 6. And like I said, I work with a lot of moms just like you. I'm actually a brand influencer for Blink, health and wellness company, whatever. I teach moms how to build on social media right from their cell phones. Have you ever thought about doing something like that? And she's like, no, I haven't. I've never thought about that before. Then when she says she hasn't thought about that before, now we can have a conversation, okay? Or even if she says, no, we're going to talk more about that. And we're going to be able to, tell her what I do. That's called exposing, okay? So you haven't exposed them until you actually tell them what you do. So once we've exposed Silly Sarah, we're going to check that box. Now, I personally don't add people to a Facebook group first. Some people teach that. I just find that the momentum is lost if you're waiting for them to accept the invite into a Facebook group. So I do that secondary after I've taken them through my initial sales funnel to say, would you be open to looking what I have? They say yes. I send them a video. I put them in a 3-way chat. Have the person in the chat come in, go back and say, would you like to get started? If they're like, oh, I'm not sure, or how's the comp plan, or where are the ingredients sourced, all the questions, I will put them in a Facebook group. I'm like, oh, we've got so much in there. It's just some great things for you to check out if you want to do your research, and then I'll get them into a Facebook group. But I use it to answer their questions, so they're more likely to go, yes, put me in the Facebook group because I have some questions, okay? So let's say we have some notes on Sarah. We haven't put her in the Facebook group yet. Well, let's say, and I'll even do this, actually, I'll put pending, so I have a note for myself to follow up with her. Now, this is so cool. Are you ready for this? Okay. So let's say the last follow-up, and I just filled in, these had old dates on them, so I just filled in. So depending on when you're watching, this is a future date. Might be an old date. Depends on when you watch this video. Whatever. You get the point. So let's say the last follow-up date was 6/7/2020, okay? Now let's say Sarah's like, you know what, we're going to be traveling. We're going to be overseas for 3 months. Can you hit me back up when we get back? So I'm like, sure, I'll connect with you beginning of September. Ready for this? Oh, it's already going to be organized. Hold on, let me do something so you can see what it looks like. Okay, next follow-up date, okay, because you're going to pick a follow-up date. You can sort it by A to Z, and it puts it in order of when you are supposed to follow up with them. So if you do this the right way, every day you're going to have new people to follow up with, and it's going to be manageable. It might be 3 people, it might be 5 people, but what will happen is you will start to get more predictability into your business. You will start to make sure your funnel is full, but also you will be able to have this tell you what you're supposed to do. So if you think about a job, you know, let's say you had an administrative job where you were supposed to call and confirm dental appointments, you would just pull up the calendar. Okay, who's scheduled in 3 days for a dental appointment? And you would call them and do a reminder. It's that same concept. Pull it up. It tells you what you need to do versus you going, oh, when's the last time I talked to Joan, you know, or whatever. Don't keep it up in here because this causes mental stress, okay? So I'm going to undo that just so it's set up for the demo. And then last follow-up date. Now this you can use to kind of keep a track with people. So let's say you have a new friend request, or maybe you connect with her for the first time. You can check it off like, yep, I talked to Silly Sarah. You know, maybe you just comment on our post or something. And then a couple days later, comment on another post or viewed her story. And you can even make a note, viewed or voted on story poll. So you can comment some of the things that you're doing to engage with her. Day 7, exposed. And then you can do follow up on it, okay? So you can have these be just nurturing of what you're doing to keep in contact with her. You can have this be your follow up. I don't like to do the follow up on day 1, like, oh, did you watch the video? And then 2 days later, you're like, so did you watch the video? I don't like doing that. I like to have a reason to follow up. So you could even do something, and I'm giving you ideas, obviously, so mine's just a template, but you could do something like invite to sneak peek, right? Or ask to try the product, invite to an online event, you know, something like that, okay? All right, so you're gonna make a copy of this. And the really awesome thing about it as well, amongst many things, is there's a Google app. So what I do when I'm on the go is I will pull this up and I will just drop names on there. So if someone responds to a curiosity post, I'll put their name on here and then I'll make a note that says commented on curiosity post, commented on curiosity post, and so on. And that always works really well because then when I can get back to my desk and just be in my group of prospecting and following up, I can go back and connect with those people. But when you're out and about with your family or you're in the car or whatever, it's just easier. You don't want to forget that person. So it's easier just to drop their name on there, okay? So I've used that before I got into Trello. Of course, you can choose. I actually have a video on Trello. I'll make a note. If you want to go to it, it's going to be right here. If not, it'll be below. Trello, it's called a prospecting tracker on Trello. So if you want to check that out instead, if you want to compare the two and see which one kind of grabs you, that seems simpler for you, you want to go with the one that you're like, I could keep up with that, right? Like you don't want to go with a big robust thing where you're like, it's too much. So look at the Trello one too if you haven't, and then you can compare the two. I personally use Trello now, but I use this Google Sheet method for a very long time. And I just find some people do better with it's a mental, I think it's a way your brain works kind of thing. Which one will you will prefer, okay? So I hope you like this video. Please subscribe, hit the button, and if you click the bell, it'll notify you every time I have a new video, which is really fun. And let me know how you like this video. Until next time, get lit in your business and set your soul on fire. Bye-bye. See you later.